Today's topic, we're talking about moms returning to fitness. Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of Middle Ground. Middle Ground is a platform where we discuss everything related to fitness. So today we've got Mindy from Voodoo Body and Voodoo Cycle. Mindy's a new mom. She's got a 1-year-old baby girl.
Yes.
And we've also got Jovis today. Jovis is one of our clients who comes to Voodoo Body.
Yes.
Not sure if you've come to cycle yet.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, I've
Great.
actually tried Pilates, spinning, strength.
So most of the classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So Jovis is also a new mom. So for today's topic, we're talking about moms returning to fitness and postpartum challenges. You want to tell us a little bit more about your child experiences with coming back to fitness after having a baby, and just tell us a little bit more about yourself.
My name is Jovis, and I'm also a new mom, just like Mindy. My baby is only 10 months old, so I started coming back when she was 3 months old.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been working out for 6 months postpartum. Yeah, and I have a full-time job.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really amazing. That's really hard to juggle. Do you find that it's really hard for you to juggle your fitness life and also taking care of a baby as well as working at the same time?
Yes, actually, yes, because my job requires me to travel all around Sarawak. So I have to travel every month,
Right.
sometimes 2 times a month.
Right.
Yeah, between Miri, Bintulu, Cebu, and then my base is in Kuching. It takes a bit of...
It's a bit of a juggle.
Yes, it's a bit of a juggle.
And can I ask you, how did you hear about Voodoo Body and Voodoo Cycle? And what made you want to come into the studio?
I'm from Miri, so I got married and moved to Kuching 4 years ago. I've already started spinning in Miri.
Right.
And then when I came to Kuching, I was, searching for places that I can actually continue spinning.
Right.
And then I just somehow went on Instagram, I think. Yeah, so I was searching, like spinning in Kuching or something.
Right.
And then, asking a few of my friends. I made some friends in Kuching, so I've been asking around, and they've been giving me recommendations.
Right.
Yeah, so I decided to try.
Right. And you started coming into the studio about 4 months postpartum, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
4 months.
Yeah.
That's pretty early on, I would say. I'm going to share my own experience. I have 2 daughters as well, so I waited 6 months before I came back to exercise. But as we know, every mom's different. Mindy came back really early, right? You came back very soon after having your baby.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I came back to the studio on the 3rd month.
Right.
But at home I did my own workouts, but very minimal movements, just, like dumbbells on the couch, seated. Yeah. Yeah, so that's, I think 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you feel, Jovis, when you came back into the studio? Because obviously you've worked out before you had your baby.
Yes.
And then after having the baby, how did you feel physically when you come into the studio and you started doing your regular workouts again?
Honestly, I feel like I finally have my life back.
That's great.
Yes.
That's really good.
Yeah, because previously I feel like, so I couldn't do so many things when I was pregnant.
Right.
Before, when I found out I was pregnant, I was telling myself, okay, I have to continue working out
Yeah.
and not let pregnancy stop me, because I know that we can actually exercise while we are pregnant.
Yes.
But then everything changed when I started experiencing all this vomiting and nausea and
Morning
sometimes-
sickness.
Yes, morning sickness. It was so bad. I was
Yeah.
puking up till 5 months
Wow.
of
That's a long time.
pregnancy. Yeah, it made me feel like I don't want to move anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I did not exercise at all during my pregnancy. And sometimes I just couldn't wait to, just get out there and start working out again.
Yeah. But how did you feel when you came back into the studio? Did you feel like your body wasn't quite the same?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, very, very much. I lost my stamina, my strength, everything.
Yeah.
I feel like I went back to zero and I had to start all over again.
Yeah. Did you feel that as well, Mindy?
Not as much
Yeah.
because I continued working out throughout my whole pregnancy.
Yeah.
Same like Jovis, I had quite pretty bad morning sickness as well. But to counter it, I just eat a lot and work out.
Yeah.
I think it helped me a bit.
I had bad morning sickness for just the first trimester. And coincidentally, my office is also in this same building.
Yeah.
And to be honest, this is why the toilets are so clean in here because I'll be rushing in like 2-3 times, every morning to throw up. It sounds disgusting. Throw up and then get back to work, And you just basically have to just suck it up and just get back to work. So yeah, I get you. And also, like you, when I came back to exercising, it was after 6 months, I went back to doing yoga. And I swear to God, I couldn't even touch the floor with my hands. And usually I'm very flexible. And I had no stability in holding any of the warriors or any of the standing postures. I just felt that my body was out of whack. Yeah, so I think that's what a lot of moms experience as well when they come back to exercising. Also, the other thing that plays a factor, I feel, is what you went through during labor. Because I believe that for some women who have gone through natural births, it might be a little bit easier for them to bounce back. Whereas those who have had C-sections, it was harder to bounce back. I don't know if it's too personal of me to ask you this, but did you have a C-section or you had a C-section?
It's not personal. I'm okay to share.
Okay, great. And yourself?
Yes.
C-section.
C-section, yeah.
Yeah.
I had both my girls natural because I'm terrified of
I'm terrified of
operations.
I'm terrified of natural birth because
Really?
I have experienced very bad period cramps
Right.
every single month.
Yeah.
Up to the point I needed to take painkillers every month.
Wow, yeah.
And it only stopped when I started exercising.
Yes, yeah. Exercise does
So
help.
I've already, I've already known how it feels like
Mm,
to have contraction
Contractions.
pain,
yeah.
and they tell me it's 100 times worse. So I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah. Did you feel the contractions before you had your C-section?
No.
No, yeah.
But you know how
Yes.
the period cramp is already so bad?
Yes, of
I
course.
do not want to go through it again.
Yeah.
So
I get
was
you.
like, okay, just cut me out.
Yeah. Wow.
Jovis is somewhat like me. I think
Yeah.
she had an early delivery, right?
Right.
Yeah,
How,
because I
how
had
many
a
weeks?
condition.
Right.
37 weeks.
Right, that's pretty early.
Because I had a low birth weight.
Right.
Small for gestational age. So my baby was not really growing well.
I see, yes.
So to reduce the risk of, mortality, they
Of
would
course.
have to,
Yeah.
just get it out earlier.
Yeah. It's always baby first, more than anything, because I used to have a lot of pregnant moms asking me if I do prenatal yoga. And the way I've been taught as a yoga instructor was to not do prenatal yoga. I know this is a little bit controversial because my instructor told me that you never really know what's going on the inside unless the mom has a scan very frequently. Then you know where the baby's positioning is and you know what condition she's in. So he basically told me not to let moms who are pregnant join my yoga class because when you're doing inversions and all this, there's always a risk of something happening to your body, something happening to your baby, and there's always that risk of compression in your tummy. Sure, there are poses that you can do that are a little bit more friendly for pregnant moms, but the moms themselves really have to know their own bodies if they were going to come to an exercise class. I'm not totally opposed to women coming in to doing any of the workouts here when they're pregnant, but they've really got to get the clearance from the doctor, one, and then also just to know their own body and just to basically just put baby first. It's only 9 months, right? It's really not that long.
It's very long.
It's very long, really? For me, 9 months is just like, boom. Oh, okay, you're out.
Like counting.
That's when it gets hard. It's when the baby comes out, right?
Yeah, now I'm also counting down.
Now you're also counting down.
To what?
Yeah, to what?
when she's gonna
Adulthood.
grow up and bye.
Actually, I cannot wait for her to grow up as well.
You'll miss the baby times. You were just telling
what
me
everyone
yesterday. You were just saying, "Oh, I miss when my baby's a newborn."
Not
I
miss
said,
her,
I told
but miss
you.
her sleeping.
Yeah. Did you have a boy or a girl?
girl.
A girl,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah.
Oh wow, we're 3 moms of girls here. Yeah,
Ah,
girl
okay.
moms. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about self-image here. We all have changes in the body after childbirth. Did that affect your decision to return to fitness so that you could feel better in your body? And did you have any issues with how your body looked like after giving birth? I know a lot of people don't like to talk about this, but this is reality. It all enters our minds, because the body changes so much when you're pregnant and then when you've given birth, especially if you're a first-time mom, you're shocked at what your body looks like, especially after you've given birth. You're like, hey, my stomach's still here. Why is it still here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's because of all the hormones and, the baby weight doesn't go immediately.
I think as much as people don't like to talk about it,
Yeah.
we should. We
Yes.
should be talking about it.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, I think I was also kind of lucky that I could still fit into my pre-pregnancy clothes.
Yeah.
I think because of a C-section,
Yeah.
I could fit in my pregnancy clothes. The only thing I did not like was the bulge in
Yeah.
my tummy. That makes wearing my pants just doesn't look so good anymore because of the bulge.
Yeah.
I know that it's going to be there for quite some time. I think it doesn't bother me that much if I start working out and I think it's not really that important.
It's
my
not.
health is.
Yeah,
is-
exactly.
Yeah, so that's how I see it.
Yeah, that was me along the way as well. When I started to come back to exercising after giving birth, it was all physical at first. It was all, oh yeah, I have to lose the baby weight. I have to, go back to my regular size, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, after you've gone through all the workouts and everything, it becomes more mental. It becomes more like, oh, I feel really good. So let's continue doing this. And I got addicted to the feeling of getting stronger and being able to lift up my child and then lift up a stroller and then walking up the stairs, that requires a lot of strength. And yourself, Mindy, I mean, you've done amazing things since giving birth to Iris. You've joined High Rocks, you've gone back to your training, you've done, then you've gone back to Muay Thai and all that.
I was quite affected by how I look, mainly because I gained 32 to 34 kilos throughout my whole pregnancy.
Wow, you don't look like
So
it.
they're telling me, oh, it's water weight. It's a lie.
It's not water weight.
So when the water left,
Yeah.
I was still about almost 30 kilos heavier than pre-pregnancy. So I gained a lot of weight throughout my pregnancy. And I grew up with body image issues. Basically, I grew up with a mom that placed a lot of importance on how I look. So until now, I am still kind of affected by it. I even told my husband, I'm not going home to visit until I lost my weight and all that.
I think it's a lot of Asian moms and Asian
Yeah.
aunties.
Yeah, so it has
Yeah.
affected me quite, I would say, very badly until even now. But I'm starting to learn that I am good enough with how I look. So because of that, the stress was also, they kept asking me to bring Iris home to see them, but I'm not going home to be berated by my mom that I haven't lost
You see,
weight.
this is what spurred me
Yeah.
on initially after I had my first child, right? And then I remembered one of my aunties said, oh yeah, you've put on quite a bit of weight. It's okay, that's what happens to women after they have children. You never go back to your regular size, just embrace it. You're just gonna be heavy and you're gonna get heavier, you're gonna get really fat, but it's fine, just embrace it. You're never gonna lose the weight. And that
show you.
angered me so much that I went back to my previous size after 6 months of actively exercising and also, eating clean and all that, changing my lifestyle. But, like I said, it actually ended up being me really liking the workouts. And then I got pregnant a second time. Same aunt, she was like, yeah, this time I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the last time was a fluke. I'm like, I'll show you. So I lost it within 4 months this time. It's insane, okay? And I also had comments from not just women, but men, right? After having my first child, they're like, oh yeah, Sereni, yeah, you know, you've lost your figure, blah, 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 blah. You're never gonna gain it back. I'm like, I'll show you. And I'm gonna get strong.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get strong more than anything. And at the end of the day, you know, you start off like, for me anyway, I started off by wanting to prove to others, but it really isn't that anymore. You know, it really wasn't about that. After a few months, then I realized, you know what? It's just me challenging myself to see, oh, you know, how strong can I get? And how long can I sustain it? Can I change my lifestyle? That was what spurred me on until today. Today is more of, you know, just sustaining this healthy lifestyle so that I can be a better mom. It's like what you said earlier, you know, it's nice to take a little bit of your old life back by coming in to work out.
Yes.
Yeah. I know a lot of moms are really busy like yourself, you know, you're a working mom, you've got a really young baby at home, but all you really need is just 1 hour away from your child. If you can't get away, get on YouTube, you know, get a set of weights, just do some exercises. There's plenty of exercises on YouTube. Just do something. Or you could even just go for a walk with your baby in a stroller just to get you active. And I think it releases so much happy hormones, your endorphins and everything, and it's beneficial for you as a mom to be happy, because if you're a happy mom, happy baby, you know? Yeah, then you don't tend to take out that stress on your kids or on your poor husband.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I think for moms it's really important to take that little bit of time away to work out. Do you find that it's helped you mentally as well?
It has.
The working
So I
out.
started off just with one goal to lose weight.
Yeah.
I have since then lost weight, but I think the push that it gave me to come back so quickly, start working out, it has made me, I'm actually stronger now compared to pre-pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I see
now
that.
it's, my goal is to just get stronger, and I think basically longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I'm old, I can live as old as I can without needing to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's more of that now.
Do you ever feel guilty for taking time out to exercise?
No. Not for me.
Love it.
Okay, this is quite personal, but it's okay. I grew up with a mom who told me that her life has changed because of me and whatnot. So I don't want to pass that down to my kid.
Right.
Like one day I'm going to say that I regret having you. Because of you, my life's changed. If I don't have you, I would be free, able to travel and all that. So I don't want that. I need to give
Break
time
the
to
generational trauma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give
Yeah.
time to prioritize myself so that I won't say that to my daughter. Yeah.
How about for you? Do you feel guilty sometimes when you take time away from your baby? No?
For workout, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for leisure, probably like on a holiday, then a little.
Yes.
But I feel like it's necessary.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, so one day I came, there's this girl that I met here in Voodoo. She was telling me that she's not coming next week because she's traveling. Then I told her, oh, I'm also traveling, so I won't be seeing her the next week. So she was asking me where am I going, and I was just telling her I'm going to Taiwan for a few days, you know, just to catch a break. Yeah. And then she was telling me, oh, that is so good, you know, like you should be doing this. Like you shouldn't be, you know, stuck at home every day doing the same thing. And I feel like this is what we need to hear more
Yeah.
of.
I think it's because with our own moms, they were never really, I guess, allowed or never allowed themselves to take that break, to go away on holiday with their girlfriends or with their sisters. Most of the time, like my own mom before, she would go away on holiday with my dad. Actually, she went away quite a bit with my dad, which was okay, you know, it's great, you know. But the thing is, this is what I told my own kids, right? Because my own kids, they're fine for me to go on holiday on my own, and they're fine for a dad to go away on his own, but we can never go together because because they're like, oh, at least one parent has to stay with us. So this is what I find that's different with this generation. Generation Alpha, they need to have both their parents with them. And I have to explain to them, I'm Gen X. Gen X is the forgotten generation. You know, we basically did everything on our own. Our parents will leave, you know, we can go out and, you know, cycle everywhere around town and get into accidents and then come back and our parents won't even ask us where we went, kind of thing. But I think it's because with a lot of parents these days, because you get a little bit worried. Of course, you know, times are different. You know, these days there's a higher crime rate and everything. So everyone's a little bit more worried about their kids. So I'm trying to like let my kids have their mistakes and let them have their little accidents. I know it sounds really bad, but that's how I grew up because I feel that that makes them more resilient. Yeah. So I think it's great when parents and moms, you know, have some time away so that they learn how to do things for themselves. You know, they learn how to pack their own food, or, you know, if they forget something in school, then no one's going to come and rescue them. They have to be without whatever it is they have to be without in school. That's my opinion. So this is the next phase for you guys. So when your daughters get a little bit older and they start school, I'm curious to know.
I will.
What your challenges will be.
School, my husband's number.
Yeah.
If anything, call him.
Don't call me. The school actually calls either one of us. Yeah, and it's always like the nurse calling for my second child. So if you guys have a second child, that second child is going to be very challenging.
So I've
right,
heard.
Ben?
Hey,
So Ben's my
you're
sister-in-law.
not the first one. Oh,
She's got 2 kids.
okay.
as well.
You're not the first one telling me this. I
Yeah.
have quite a number of friends who has the first child, who's
Yes.
an angel.
Yes.
And then the second one is just chaotic.
Chaotic, but so much fun. I swear to God.
I'm the second child.
Yeah, so am I. So am I.
Oops.
Yeah, the middle child.
That's true.
The middle child is so shocking and chaotic, but at the same time, so much fun. The differences in kids. So when you came back to exercise at Voodoo, did you have a goal in mind of what you wanted in terms of fitness and a deadline for yourself?
I don't really set deadlines because I don't think I can ever follow it. But I think most importantly is that I want to be better than I was yesterday.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
I take it one step at a time. Yeah.
That's a really good mindset.
Yeah. Whatever I can do, I do. If
Yeah.
I cannot, then I won't force myself. Yeah. I start with booking, you know, once a week and then twice a week.
Yeah.
Now I'm still on twice a week, which is only Saturday and Sundays.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like, you know, I'm already working full time.
Yes.
I only have that few hours with my baby on weekdays.
Right.
And weekends, we have a full day together, so I can take an hour off.
Yeah.
My husband has been encouraging me to, you know, work out more. He said you can even go every day, he will take care of it. But
That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's
I
good to
still
have a
feel
very
guilty.
supportive partner.
Yeah, I think it's important, right?
Yeah, very, very important.
He's the one who's always asking me to work out more, you know, don't lead a sedentary lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you tend to compare yourselves with other moms who have just come back to working out as well? Or do you just tend to just stay in your own lane and work on your own journey? Because we do get some moms who come in and, you know, they start to say, oh, you know, so-and-so can do this, why can't I? And as instructors, we always have to explain that everybody is different. So you just work with how you feel actually that day.
Actually, I don't really compare
That's
to
great.
others that
Yeah.
much because I really couldn't be bothered.
Yeah,
I feel like I've already so many things to worry about.
exactly.
So I'm not going to put other people in and make the equation tougher to solve.
And it's not even relevant, right?
Yes,
Because
yes,
they're a
yes.
completely different person.
So yes, correct. I just felt like I have to be healthy for me and my family and do whatever I can to achieve that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anything, for comparison wise, it's always good to compete with yourself. You know what I mean? So say for example, if, okay, say yesterday, you couldn't even finish like say 5 reps of a certain exercise, and you can just tell yourself, okay, the next day, if I'm feeling stronger, I'm gonna complete it, and then maybe do an extra 2 or 3, you know? So it's always good to just compete with yourself and see how you can further yourself in that sense, and just stay in your own journey without comparing yourself to another individual, because we're all different at the end of the day. Everyone's going through different things, and some people might be going through injuries. You never know. Yeah, or maybe they didn't have enough sleep the night before. It all affects your workout at the end of the day. At Voodoo, the reason why we came up with this concept here at the body studio and also the cycle studio, the workouts can be very intense. So you can build your own workout and like pick up the heavier weights if you want. But if you're not feeling it that day, you can always opt out and then lift the lighter weights and then maybe do less reps. But we try to make the environment feel safe, so it's a safe space, and also stress-free, because we're experiencing so much stress at work, outside of the studio, so much stress with, being a mom, being a wife, a sister, a daughter, and all this. The last thing you want to do is come into a workout studio and just feel stressed as well. Like, oh my God, I have to finish this. Like, I have to finish 10 reps or the instructor's going to yell at me. No, we don't do that here at Voodoo. So, I hope you feel that way when you come into the workouts.
I enjoy all my workouts here.
That's great. That's great. Please tell all your other mom friends about us.
Ask somebody to come with me, becoming my workout buddy. But I feel like it doesn't matter if I have a buddy or not. I'm still going to come.
Great. That's so good. So Mindy, as an instructor, do you have any tips on building a sustainable routine, especially for working moms with very little help or no help?
I think like what Jovis said, every mom needs to know that they need to prioritize themselves.
Yes.
In order to be able to keep the baby happy. Yeah. Whatever your priority is, you have to achieve it rather than go into this mode, because I have some friends who reached out and said that I can't come back because I don't have time. I'm working full time, and then I don't want to be away from the baby. Break that barrier or that mentality, and I think it's not healthy for the long term. So even you're working full time like Jovis, at least she comes in during the weekends. I know some clients that come in at night, just that 1 hour. It doesn't have to be every day. You still have Monday, Tuesday. If you come on a Wednesday, for example, today, you still have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So your baby's going to be there with you for the next 20 years. Just by going away for 1 hour, you won't miss that much. Even if during that 1 hour she started walking, it's fine. It's like, let your husband have that moment.
Exactly, like let the partner have that moment with your child.
The attachment
I think it's
issue
fine.
Needs to be addressed.
A
lot of moms have that attachment issue.
Exactly. Your babies are still young, but I also see a lot of moms who have kids who are in school, like schooling age. They're with them all the time and they devote 110% of their time for their kids, which I think to be honest, I don't think it's very healthy to devote like 110% of yourself to your children. Being a devoted mom is great, but you have to have some time for yourself as well. Because what happens is when these kids go off to university, a lot of these moms, they don't know what to do with themselves. They're suddenly lost and they get frustrated, and because they've devoted so much time to the kids, they start to neglect also their relationship with their husbands. So, kids gone and the husband's doing their own thing, and then these moms are left lonely, right?
I tell my husband all the time, in the end it's gonna be me and him.
Yes, exactly.
So she's gonna grow up with wings and fly.
Yes.
So we still have to put each other first. In a way. In a way. Not to be selfish, but to have like that time to be yourself, so that you can be a better parent. And so that they also learn to be a little bit more self-reliant. I don't believe in over-scheduling activities for my kids to do either. So sometimes they're like, Mom, I'm bored. I'm like,
you need to learn how.
Well,
be bored.
What am I? Am I Netflix? That's why I always say, am I Roblox? Go find something to do, Like I remember in my time, in my generation, we'll be out in the garden, like literally digging holes in the
my God,
garden,
the same.
filling it with water and just sitting in there. You know what I mean? Like
I've
catching
done that
worms.
too.
I don't know.
No,
you
I
know,
have
all
dug
sorts
a
of
hole
things.
and put in the firecracker.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, no, I used to put in my dolls. Even for that, I got in trouble because my dolls would be so dirty, right?
I only catch earthworms.
yeah, that too. I did it a lot
I'm
as
the
well.
second child, so I put firecrackers.
Justifiable.
Yes. Yeah. So I think it's okay for kids to be bored. I think it's great because then
Yeah,
they just
should.
use their own
They-
imagination to
yes.
entertain themselves.
Agree,
because
agree.
yeah, I don't believe in over scheduling, and that is your sign to come and work out, right?
Yeah.
Let them be bored. It's just an hour. Yeah, that's it. It's not
I
a
think
lot
it's
of
a skill
time.
that they need to pick up also.
Yes.
Like when you are bored, then you have to think what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like you don't rely on others to
Yeah.
tell you what to do.
Yeah, read a
Nobody's
book.
gonna tell you what to do when you grow up.
Yes.
You have to figure it out. So
Yeah.
why not start them young?
Yes,
That's what
100%.
I
I totally agree. All right, girls, thank you so much for being here for this episode.
Thank you for having me.
What's one thing, before we end, what is one thing you want every new mom to know about postpartum fitness, starting with you, Jovis?
Just get out there and do it.
Yes,
Yes, don't
I agree.
hesitate.
Yeah,
You know, like sometimes I book a class on weekends,
yeah.
and then on that day I actually feel kind of lazy.
We all
But
do.
I just wait it out
Yeah.
until I cannot even cancel the class anymore.
Yes,
So I'm like, okay, now I have to go.
yeah.
The moment you step into class, you know you don't regret it.
Yes. There's never any regret, right? And you feel a lot better after.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I probably would regret if I cancelled the class.
Yeah.
Just do it. Yes.
And yourself?
Yeah, do something for yourself.
Yeah.
Like what Jovi said. Because I have friends who waited a year or two, and then some of them 3. I've seen those that waited longer.
Yeah.
They have kind of lost themselves in a sense
Yeah.
of who they are.
Mm.
Don't put yourself there. And then you tell one day you're gonna say that it's too late. It's never too late.
Yeah,
Regardless
it
whether
really
you are 3
is
months,
never
3
too
years,
late.
it's never too late. Just take the first step.
Yeah. For me, it's I would advise people to not overthink it because we do get a lot of inquiries coming in. You know, they're asking about scheduling, which is fine, but then it comes around to like so many questions, and these people never end up booking a class because they're so scared to come in, and they always ask me, how do I start? And I always advise them, don't overthink it, just book a class and just come in. Whatever you can do, just do it. And then whatever you can't do, don't worry about it, you know? It's just an exercise class, it's not an exam. It's not a driving test, you know? Just come in and do it, enjoy yourself, no stress. If you don't like it, you don't ever have to come back, but
Yeah.
just start and
Take that
see how
first
you
step.
go. Take that first step.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I feel like having an instructor is also one of the plus point of starting, because even if you don't know what to do,
Yeah,
you just come and the instructors will tell you what to do.
exactly.
So you never feel lost.
Yes. Yeah. Any final words of encouragement for moms who feel stuck, scared, or not ready?
We are ready. We'll help you get ready.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've been there.
Yes.
I've been through what you've been through, and I know it's not easy for full-time working moms. I work part-time. Take this as an opportunity to meet other moms, create a community on your own.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest, you'll never be ready.
Yeah.
Nobody is 100% ready to do anything. You're not 100% ready to be a mom either, right? But you just take that plunge and you just go with it. That's life. How about yourself? Any final words of encouragement?
You're not alone.
Yeah, love that.
If I can do it, you can too.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not even a very athletic person to start with. And I only started working out when I was in my 20s.
Same girl.
So I feel like, if I can, then anyone can.
You're right. Anyone can do it. All right, girls. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to give you a little clap. And give you a high five. Episode 2, done and dusted. Thank you so much. See you episode 3.